Good morning from the Algarve. Very pretty. It's currently 7:30. Walking the dogs before work. I was mountain biking yesterday. I got a mountain bike back in September. The reason I got a mountain bike, obviously it was like the whole, being exposed to Hardy and Freely and, being inspired to get one in that sense. I've always enjoyed running, but I was too heavy to run. I did try it, but I was never going to be able to be consistent with running without doing myself an injury. Love the nature, love getting outside, and a road bike or a bike in general offered that. It was also transport for me, free transport, which is freaking handy. I don't have a driver's license, so the bike was cool for that. I had one in Ireland, but then I just never sorted it out here, and basically I don't have a driver's license, which I need to sort out. But anyway, so I have my bike. I have old Lusty. So the bike was and I wanted to get fit, which was one of the main things. I wanted that exercise high. So yeah, got my bike in September. Had it in my head that I was going to get a road bike, but the terrain here and the wind and everything, the guy advised me against it. He said to get a mountain bike. And then I spoke to quite a few people who really took cycling seriously over here, and majority of them, there was a lot of people who have road bikes as well, but a lot of them had mountain bikes. And Dan, my husband, he was just more keen for me to get a mountain bike because I don't know, I think the road bike scared him a little bit, because I hadn't been, I'd never really cycled before, other than when I was a kid. So I think the idea of me having a road bike being on the road all the time, I think it just you're gonna kill yourself. So anyway, I was talking to getting a mountain bike, much to my disgust. I was sickened about it. I was throwing fits. I don't want a fucking mountain bike, I want a road bike. It was my money as well, you'd swear that. But anyway, you're I didn't want to upset him either. Anyway, so I went with the mountain bike, and I wouldn't regret it for a second. I would like to get a road bike too someday. I'd like to have both. But I'm glad I got the mountain bike because just to be around here, I don't know if you can see the mountains behind me. Can you see the windmills? The windmills in the mountains. You can cycle all up in there. You can kind of do it in a road bike, but it's not as fun because you're very that's not what a road bike's for. A road bike is for, flat road, going fast. And you wouldn't be half as fast on a mountain bike, certainly not. But they're great crack. They're so much fun. I have great fun at it. And it's just so sturdy. My bike's massive. It's like a freaking, it's like a little quad bike, not a quad bike, like a scrambler. I always wanted a motorbike, and here I am, my little scrambler, and it's just, I love it. Yeah, but like I said, I'd like to get a road bike too. I'd like to have a couple of bikes. That's the way to go. My dad used to say that to me when I was a kid, about cars. Fuck cars, I want a couple of bikes. So anyway, I've started in September, so it hasn't been that long, and I found out that there was this guy, he's a pro. Yeah, I suppose he kind of is a pro. He's a pro mountain biker. And he kind of does lessons. So I had a lesson with him there last week. I think it was last week anyway. And he was just showing me, ironing out any bumps. So I was holding the handlebars slightly wrong. Where my hand, I had my thumb like this. I don't know why I had my thumbs like that. So obviously you'd want your hands like that on the handlebar. Have one finger on the brake if you're ever going downhill, or just generally a couple of other things. My seat was actually in the wrong place. And I went to a good bike shop, and they fitted me, and they actually put my seat in the wrong place, which is kind of funny. So maybe it is worth, I think obviously it is worth talking to somebody who, is who knows that area, and no matter what it is that you're trying to improve on. For me anyway, I'm the kind of person who if I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. I want to do it right because I want to get really good at it, and to get really good at it, you have to do it right, don't you? And I enjoy doing it right. I like a certain amount of structure in my life so that I can improve. That's just the way that I feel that way. So I thought that was really good. But one of the things that he said to me that I just thought was quite interesting was he was saying that like I had a habit of kind of looking, you know, you're cycling along, especially, obviously it comes for a road bike and it comes for even driving a car, but more especially for a mountain bike, because when you're cycling a mountain bike, like, you kind of have to have in mind the route you want to take, because, you know, there's going to be like really rocky terrain and you're going to be trying to miss things. So when you look ahead, you're kind of being like, okay, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to go around there and I'm going to go over that. That's what you're kind of thinking. Whereas I was thinking too much in the mindset of like, okay, I want to avoid that and I want to avoid that and I want to avoid that and I want to avoid that. And he was like, you're just going to bang into everything if you're focusing on what you're trying to avoid. You know, you don't focus on what you're trying to avoid, you focus on where you're trying to go. That's true to life, isn't it? That, like, you can't focus on where you don't want to be. You can't focus on what you don't want to happen. You can't focus on the negative. It's so cliche and we all know it, but yet I still fucking do it. I'm doing it on my bike, for God's sake. You know, but that's a life lesson right there. Again, physical activity, sports, teaching us life lessons. And I would also just like to put out, I was going to say I've never been a sporty person, but I haven't really, like, I really haven't. Never did a sport consistently, never, like, super enjoyed, did not actually at all enjoy sports at school. I've done dancing. That was my thing. I was a ballerina, would you believe? Back in my slimmer days. The days of restriction is when I was a ballerina. And dancing. I do love to dance. I kind of love to dance. Someday I'll show you a Zumba video, I guess. I'll do some Zumba for you guys. Do some dancing. It's great fun. I'd advise anyone to do Zumba. Do a couple of sports. Like, you don't have to do one, like, you know, and I'm not the kind of person, and I don't think Harley's not the person who's like, oh, if you don't ride a bike, then you're a loser. That's not what he's saying, but like, if you've never even tried to ride a bike, then like, how can you say that it's shit and you don't like it? If you've never had a bike, then how can you say it's shit and you don't like it? Just like, stop being so like, you know, headstrong, like, I don't want to get on a bike. I don't want to get on a bike. I will not get on a bike. I felt like that. I really did. I remember Pao Simeon saying to me, like, have you got your bike yet? Have you got your bike yet? It was like one of the first things he said to me. And I was being so just, I don't know why. I don't know why I was being like that. Because the same reasons that I suppose people try to fight veganism. It's like, no, can it be that easy? You just have to get a bike? It can't be that easy. You just eat plants and then you're fine. It can't be that easy. We love to complicate things. We love to make things complicated. Okay, I'm off walking the dogs. Sorry if the light has been terrible. The sun has decided to come out and blind me. Ciao, ciao. Peeps. See you next time.